Hey guys, welcome back to another episode and a new season of Press C for Carnage. As always, this is Dave, and joining me is Jordan and Colin.
What's up?
Yo.
Are you
All
into
right, Jordan, kick us off.
Are you into it? Are you into
No.
it? All right. So we're going to start off with some articles here. So sorry to start the second season of our podcast, season 2, episode 1, with some more articles. Woo! Huzzah. We're going to go with this one from Computer World. It was actually originally in Bloomsburg, but I don't have a subscription to Bloomsburg, so yeah, I ain't paying for their crap. Microsoft cuts HoloLens, Xbox, and Surface jobs as industrial metaverse team said to fold. So basically it says Microsoft has confirmed it's laying off staff that is working on the HoloLens, which I don't know if anyone knows what that is. That is the augmented reality headset that Microsoft has been working on for the last 6 or 7 years. The Surface, which is the tablet, and the Xbox, multiple Xbox development teams. So basically, I mean, this is terrible. So then it's not just HoloLens and their device products. It's also Xbox development teams that are underneath them. Specifically 343 lost quite a few people. The Halo development team. So this is not good, and it's not just them. I'm not upset with them specifically. It's everybody. The economy is crap right now, and for everyone that's struggling, if you happen to be listening to this podcast, I'm sorry. I wish there was something I could do to help you, but I also am struggling. So, $12 for a dozen eggs is a bit much. But back on subject. I guess what my point of bringing this article up was, it sucks. It sucks that this is happening. Microsoft/Xbox isn't the only one that's doing this. Everyone is doing it. I feel bad for the developers. I mostly brought it up to say sorry to the developers who lost their jobs. I really hope you guys bounce back on your feet. I hope you guys find something to, make an income during these hard times.
Well, and as much as I do feel bad, at the same time, if they could easily be cut from, since this project's going south, and obviously they've been on a contract basis of they signed this possible outcome. But at the same time, we're talking about developers making over $100,000 a year. So if their money is that tight where they can't afford $12 carton of eggs, and that's on them, because we're making it by where we're using, we're going paycheck to paycheck buying said eggs.
Right.
So it's, I don't know. I guess I guess that's my view from being, I am a boss of my own business. So, I too am struggling, but I manage my money. And
right. Just so you know, I wasn't sure if you cared or not, to clarify what you said. It's a bracket. Not all developers make 100,000, obviously, and actually a very small few of them do. The bracket, from what I'm looking up right now, is 27,000 to 140,000 per year. So you can make anywhere between that. And from what I've heard, people who just started out right out of college make barely 40,000 a year, barely. So. And that's barely enough to live off of in certain cities. So I just wanted to clarify that. And
I understand that. But this was for the metaverse. Yeah. For the metaverse, they're not going to be interns or new developers coming out of college.
You would hope not.
They're not going to be the ones on this project. And that's what speaks loudly about this project is, perhaps they should have the interns, the ones that, fighting to create a name for themselves, should be allowing these kids to come in and work on their project.
Right.
But anyways, we're going off topic. Yeah, I feel bad for them, but at the same time, hey, we're all in this boat. And yeah, maybe instead of making an article about Microsoft cutting employees, maybe make an article about how the fact that eggs are $12. So something we farm so heavily is $12.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, Colin, would you like to go ahead and do the? Oh, sorry. Did you have a comment?
Well, I was just gonna say, Carnage. us Americans, that $12, that's the extra process of removing the wax that keeps disease out of the eggs. We definitely want disease out of them.
Well, we got cold climate for that, but I mean, okay, our eggs are up at $8 right now, which isn't in comparison. We're still well under you guys, but we're getting there. And actually, the other day when I went grocery shopping, we had no eggs on the shelf, and that, except for like the specialty eggs that are like an extra $20 for a 12-pack.
Oh yeah, because they're organic.
Organic, omega, full of omegas, and yeah, that tastes so much different on a fucking pan. But yeah.
What I was gonna say was, Colin, you're incorrect. Actually, that barely costs anything. So no, you're wrong. Also,
you know what also doesn't cost barely anything? A chicken laying eggs.
That's true. I actually grew up on a dairy farm, believe it or not, and
you got to feed them and you got to protect them. And
yeah, but they barely eat anything, to be honest. The only thing you really got to do with them is prevent them from getting diseases, which is actually really difficult because they literally just sleep in their own filth. So it's kind of
birds are very prone to disease.
Yes.
You know what? Chickens survived thousands of years.
Well, and apparently by Jurassic Park, they used to eat us. So yeah,
that is a fact. A movie fact. Hey, Colin, do you have any articles that you wanna check out while we're on the topic of articles?
Well, in the recently shown Nintendo Direct live video, they had pushed a new trailer for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So I put an article up for y'all to read, and I want to ask your thoughts on what it's saying, and just general thoughts about what you see.
I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. What I was gonna say was I'm not surprised. What was I gonna say? I would be extremely non-surprised if they released TF2 on the Switch and you immediately brought it up in one of these podcast articles.
It's never going to happen. It would never happen.
You don't think so?
The thing is, no, because TF2 was originally in the orange box of like the original 3 games. So you had Half-Life 2,
right,
Portal 1, and TF2, and that was a console release. So it was on consoles, but then they decided to remove it from consoles because it was hard to keep up with all the new items they were adding that had different features and functions.
Which is odd because live service games are all over console now. That's odd.
Well,
we're talking what, 15 years ago?
Yeah, but
13
you
years
gotta realize it's not just like a normal like Fortnite where most of the guns you have 2 functions, shoot and aim, and that's it. Or you have a throw or like sometimes a special feature.
Right.
But with TF2 you have call outs, you have emoting for whatever you're doing.
Warzone has all of that.
But don't put emoting in there because that emoting is 100% console, my friend.
Yeah, right.
But
teabag.
the thing is, but because TF2 is old, it has menus for that type of stuff. Like you have to hold down a button and then scroll to your emote, and then you have like 5 weapons that need to be constantly switched to because PC players, you can turn off animations for weapon switching and like quick scroll with your scroll wheel.
Okay, so problem solved easily. No cross platform. Done. Easy.
I mean, back when this first release, there wouldn't have been cross platform anyhow. No. We're talking about the 360 here. Where,
true.
You know, and as far as compatibility goes, if you want to cram these games onto what, I think the 360 originally came with a 60 gigabyte hard drive. Then you had to upgrade from there to a 120.
Tiny. Yeah, it was small.
So the compatibility, and then let alone the server hosting they would have had to go through. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, J-Man, there might be hope because they did release Portal 1 and 2 on it. I don't know if it's been released, but there was mention of it.
Right.
I don't know. But
okay, sorry
to it ever happen.
Sorry to change the subject.
Segueing back to the game.
Well, I'm actually glad we changed the subject because it gave me time to watch this trailer all the way through. So, so wow, this game looks literally identical to the first one with way more action. So.
It's apparently the biggest Nintendo game on Switch to date.
It looks
not by Nintendo, I believe, was the thing I saw. But yeah,
You could buy this game, guys, for $69.99 US, which
Mhm.
for a Switch game seems absolutely appalling.
So
And-
Nintendo has taken up that new practice of charging an extra $10 for their upcoming games, huh?
Yeah, and just so for all my Canadians out there, that is 93 goddamn dollars for us.
Wow.
For a base game. Now they do have a collector's edition, which seen as Nintendo will be far superior to the base game.
Right.
So, hold on, let's do the quick Google math here.
You know what?
1, 2.
I want to be quite frank. I got a halfway at GameStop. They had a really great deal where they had the base game and a game with like a book in it, and it was the same cost. I was really happy about that. I bought that quickly.
Yeah, I would.
Oh.
So the collector's edition for us Canadians is $174 for at today's exchange rate. So
Wow.
$174 for us to get the collectors, which obviously anybody buying this game wants the collector's edition.
Oh yeah, for sure. Does
So-
it come with like a handmade bow?
It comes with stuff in it. I forget what it has.
It includes a physical copy of Tears of the Kingdom, an
Gotcha.
art book, a steel
Yeah.
bookcase, and an icon art steel poster and 4 pins to go with the poster.
Oh yeah, that's all.
Now separately though, Nintendo will release new akimbo feature of Link as he
Amiibo.
appears in Amiibo, sorry, I read it as Amiibo for an extra $15.99. You can buy this. So that's not going to be included with the collector's edition. No. We want to get a little $15 out of you yet. So
I can't wait till the DLC is released.
for
'Cause
what,
you know-
$39.99?
Maybe. I saw for the regular stuff, like on current Breath of the Wild, I think it was 10 per pack, and there was 2, or it was either 10 or 15. So $30 for 2 DLCs. So
So I've never used a Switch. How do DLCs work for Switch?
you either buy it in game or you buy it in
I've
the
never
store.
seen it being bought from in game. From what I've seen, I've always seen it buy from the store
Yeah.
separately, and then it just installs.
Breath of the Wild has an in-game option. Like you have new game, load game, and then DLC.
Oh,
and it has
'cause-
like
Tell me there's a child lock, because that's what every parent wants, is a child with
you
pre-rolled
can't.
to your credit card.
You have to like enter codes. There is parental locks on the Switch. They have an entire phone app that can limit like time on the Switch and time per game and a bunch of other stuff. There's lots of things for that, and yes, there is locks on it. So you can also do profile lock for like Switch accounts and whatnot. So
Parental
besides
controls.
that-
Okay, so every parent in the world will know how to do that, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, Nintendo legitimately has like a whole intro video on what it does.
just
Like,
so you
they-
know,
okay.
just so you know, I have parental controls on my Switch for my kids, and the app is terrible. It's freaking
it is
terrible.
probably, but
I hate
it's
it
Nintendo.
so
Of course it is. They want you to buy stuff, man.
much.
They don't want that on there.
So I'm just looking through the list here. So game announcements for the Nintendo Direct. Pikmin 4, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Expansion Pass DLC Volume 3. Yes, that is the exact title.
Metroid Prime Remastered.
Fashion
You're-
Dreamer.
Ooh, we're getting Game Boy and Game Boy Advance for Nintendo Online.
Wait, there's a Dead Cells expansion where they cross platform with Castlevania or whatever the hell you call it. It's where they bring in content from another game series into their game.
That's cool.
Like a promotional content. It's, oh my god, it's Castlevania related. This is so cool.
Yeah, they're doing lots of good things. There's a Tron game coming out apparently. But yeah, so there's lots of cool things with Nintendo.
I wouldn't buy another
Yeah.
Tron movie. That
I don't care what anyone says. That Tron movie was the shit. The one that came out in like
Yeah.
2004 or whatever.
yeah,
2006.
yeah, it was pretty damn good.
I
Well, they're
liked
making
it.
a ride about it in Disney. It comes out in like 40.
I will only
50
go
days.
to it and or care about it if they have a hologram of that hot chick from the movie.
You're riding the Tron cycles. I think
I
that's
need
the
her
whole
to be
thing.
riding on the Tron cycle with me. Yeah, I mean, this is cool. So, yes, the game, Tron Identity, I guess is what it's called. So, oh my
Yeah.
god, it's like a mobile game. Oh, this is
No,
terrible.
it's on. Well, everything's a mobile game. Basically, a mobile game on Switch.
No, but I mean, like, this is like a novel. It's like a
Oh.
it's like, you know what I'm talking about, like how mobile games take the cheap way out, and they have like a lot of them are just like moving pictures with like two images that cycle back and forth between each other as you hit dialogue
ew.
options. That's what it looks like. It's terrible.
Those are disgusting. I hate them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all.
Hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. So no, okay, so no hype for Tron Identity, that's for sure. So we got the Splatoon 3 DLC, Bayonetta Origins, I guess, like a prequel game to Bayonetta's coming out. Ooh, another Kirby game. Oh, it's a remake. Re-release? Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe Edition. Huh.
So there's DLC in it.
Cool.
Deluxe, I guess. I tried playing a Kirby game.
Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
This is what caused the problem. The first.
Yeah, well, nothing beats the Kirby's from the NES. And I haven't played any new generation of Kirby, but I just doesn't seem like they can really expand from the 2D. Kirby sucks in a guy, you get his abilities, and you fight your way through.
Look, I'm just gonna say this. Kirby killed multiple gods over a piece of cake. He's not a good guy. Over a piece of cake. He literally killed King Dedede because he thought they had stolen his cake. Not because he did. Thought.
Yeah.
All right, I am back. I apologize for that. My children are fighting with each other.
Yeah, and I mean, in hindsight, we all aided him in doing said homicide.
Aiding and abetting active criminal.
I don't care what anyone says. King Dedede is actually not a villain. He's just an idiot that does stupid things.
Well, that's what we just said. That's what Paul just said.
Yeah.
Kirby killed a bunch of gods over a piece of cake.
Wow.
Yeah, Kirby is not a
Kirby's
good
a
guy.
bully. He
is.
Bully. That's crazy. All right, are we done talking about the Nintendo Direct and the awesomeness that looks like Zelda?
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say, oh, sorry, I didn't interrupt you. I was just gonna say, one last thing about that trailer that we watched while you were talking. That looks like Elden Ring, you know, but with like, because I saw there was the one shot in that trailer of like a bridge, like a partially broken bridge with a fire-breathing Hydra sitting at the other end of it, guarding some kind of castle-looking thing. And I immediately got like Dark Souls / Elden Ring vibes. I'm like, this is just straight up Elden Ring at this point, which is funny because I know Elden Ring actually took a lot of its inspiration from Zelda, you know, which is funny.
Drawing inspiration from inspiration.
From inspiration. Isn't that how game development works, though? It's really interesting.
Look, once you've read the dictionary, every book is just a remix.
That's actually pretty funny.
Fuck off.
Everything is just a remix from the original, the Bible. The Bible.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so my next article here is World of Warcraft, among other top games, are going offline in China, forcing millions of players to say goodbye to their accounts. Wow.
For all of you who got whiplash from that transition, it's okay.
I apologize. Anyway. I apologize. I don't know where to go from here now. Now that you've said that, to be honest, you lost my train of thought.
I watched I can't think of his name. Carry on. Let me find this guy's name.
Okay, sure. So the Chinese gaming market is notoriously restrictive, with few major overseas titles available to players there. Blizzard's popular franchises such as Warcraft and Overwatch have managed to break through that market and barrier, but despite a dispute between the two companies involved with this, I can't even think. the company that works with I think it's Tencent. It's not Tencent. It's starts with an N.
NyQuil?
NyQuil, yes, NyQuil, the gaming company. Yeah. No, I'll find it. I'll figure it out later when I remember all of a sudden. But basically, there's a dispute between those two companies, Blizzard and the company that they work with to contract the games in China, and they have to shut down. So, which is
why?
So some kind of like contracting dispute. From what I read, it looks like Blizzard was looking. Oh, NetEase. NetEase was the word I was looking for. Sorry. Yeah. So there's some kind of contract dispute between Blizzard and NetEase. I guess Blizzard wants to make more money, but according to Blizzard, NetEase was asking for more money for like the contract, and Blizzard was like, no. So they behind NetEase's back before the contract had actually ended. I guess they were shopping around for other. Like companies to work with in China, such as Tencent and other big name, so NetEase found out about that before the contract ended, and I guess they ended it early, and they essentially went on a rampage and started destroying shit. Like, they literally took down the servers within, like, a couple days after the incident, and then a bunch of their workers had to get laid off, the NetEase workers that were working for the Blizzard division, because they had, like, their own Blizzard-branded building in China, that was filled with like NetEase contractors. Essentially, they went ballistic. A lot of them went outside and started destroying like the buildings / like statues. Like, they had a statue of one of the world famous, like a really big World of Warcraft character, like outside the building, and they went like they went sledgehammer all over it. So
interesting. I do have a question. Who instigated? Because I'm hearing like that NetEase wanted more money, but also Blizzard wanted more money, or
Blizzard wanted to make more money, and NetEase was also demanding more money.
Correct. Yeah. So it was a conflict of interest.
No. I have a solution to please both of them. Get a bigger player base. There you go. Problem solved.
Well, I mean, China was their biggest player base. Yeah, to be honest,
hence why NetEase was demanding more money. Can you imagine trying to uphold those servers?
Oh God,
yeah, I get it. They
have like 1 billion people too, so I'd imagine a good portion of them were playing World of Warcraft. So, here's a quote from the article. NetEase rejected an offer from Blizzard earlier this month to extend the agreement by 6 months, describing the proposal from Blizzard as "quote unquote" commercially illogical, and accusing Blizzard of seeking a divorce but still remaining attached. End quote.
Well, it depends how Blizzard went around behind their backs. It's one thing to acquire quotes and talk about the future to other companies. That wouldn't be enough for you to desecrate their buildings. So,
right,
there must have been deals happening before NetEase contract was up for them to go and create such havoc. To have your entire staff completely ruin any shot they have with Blizzard in the future.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I would imagine them doing that definitely isn't going to make them want to come back. That's for sure.
No, so there has to be more than what's being told for them to act so Neanderthalish. Is that a word?
Neanderthalish?
Neanderthal?
So according to this, citing a person close to Blizzard, Routers. I don't remember the name. I don't know how to pronounce the name of this article. Basically, Reuters news agency reported that the dispute was down to NetEase wanting structural changes that would impact the U.S. firm's control over the intellectual property, such as, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo. NetEase insisted that any usage and licensing of Blizzard's IP were done in accordance with contract terms and with Blizzard's consent and approval throughout the 14-year agreement that they had. And then, quote, "We want to clarify that we never sought to obtain control of the IP from Activision Blizzard. That is an unfounded accusation," end quote. I don't believe that for a goddamn second.
No.
Oh no, they were definitely trying to do.
For sure.
do
I'm
it.
surprised
Oh,
they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
even like take because they had access. They were a contractor for 14 years. They had access to
Look,
their
with the,
infrastructure. They could have easily just made a copy of the game. Like,
I mean, yeah, totally. I mean, look, with those drone balloons over four-sided ones, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to take the game.
oh, for sure. Oh God, What's up, Carnage?
No. Carry on. I just had a
No, you.
little thing to say. How do you think this is going to affect the whole Microsoft deal?
With what?
Oh, you mean with them buying them? I mean, well, that's already
Activision Blizzard. No,
Oh yeah, because
they've just lost a huge market, like huge value. Like Microsoft might just put their hands like, "Hey, Sony, you win." Like, see you later.
I mean, you have to consider. Wouldn't Microsoft already have ties in China, like for building things? I would assume, and like product selling, they have to get things in there. So I'm sure it wouldn't. If they got it, it wouldn't be as big as a problem.
Well, no, it's just the reboot of let's say Warcraft alone in China.
Oh, yeah.
Like they. I think I made this point before that there are people who have had their accounts for how long has Warcraft been out?
Let's say 5 years.
Well, I was gonna say
they got it late. They got the game late.
I was gonna say it says 14 years.
Years.
It says they got it immediately after signing the contract in 2008 or whatever. So
2000
14, 15 years.
14 years.
Yeah, 14.
No, wait, 8, 10, 18. Yeah.
So, yeah. So you've had an account. You've had a character that you've built for, let's say, just 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
That suddenly poof out of thin air is gone.
Yep.
So if Microsoft, let's say, takes takes Blizzard and redistributes Warcraft in China, they would have to successfully bring these account backs and these characters and hope that they
I imagine that the servers are still intact, or at least I would hope they are. So I just think
with what you saying about people going ballistic and destroying things, I mean,
well, there's no record of them.
I just hope that Blizzard got a second copy to everything that happened in this establishment, because all these accounts will be purged. I guarantee it. So if Microsoft doesn't have a way to basically put Warcraft back the way it was from their final day,
I hope the contractors didn't go crazy and start destroying like physical servers and or deleting stuff like that. That would be terrible. Like, oh my! As far as I know, the only thing that they destroyed was part of the structure of the actual building they were in, / like the stuff decorating the walls and like stuff related to Blizzard. So that's what I've read. I don't know for sure if they went crazy on the servers, but.
Well, yeah, and I assume that Blizzard, now that we've talked it through, I assume Blizzard was smart enough to create a backup of a backup of a backup.
Oh, I hope so.
For everything.
Here's the problem. The data transfer alone from China to America would be a lot for them to back it up somewhere there. That just seems to me like they wouldn't really try and do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and even if Microsoft did buy them after this whole incident, which I don't think is going to go through, judging by the whole EU now blocking them, but we'll talk about that next time once we get more information about it. But that's going to be a few months, I would assume. They would still, Microsoft, if they did buy them, would still have to get with a company to do said transfer if there even was anything left from the servers that NetEase did own or was using. So there's still the issue of who the hell are they gonna go with? Like, and the only people I can see maybe wanting to take that deal after NetEase went ballistic is Tencent, to be honest.
We're not just talking about Warcraft here. We're talking about Diablo. We're talking about Overwatch. We're talking about Hearthstone. We're talking about that's all that NetEase had access to or was managing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot that Blizzard is fucking right now on the sideline of this goddamn court case.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is my friends are gonna be real happy if all the servers in China go down. There's easy lobbies.
If they have, they're gone.
I'm guessing they're having issues with Chinese PvPers.
Yeah.
That's
Like
funny.
the team they're playing against is carried by one guy who's really good.
Oh my god. All right. I have one more article to talk about, but why don't we take a small break, guys?
All right.
Get some
Virtual
fresh air.
time.
All right. We'll see you guys after the break.
Have you ever wanted to play the Ocarina like a true pro? Well, have I got the perfect person to teach you? Hey, do you think you could pay attention, please? Your resume said you were an expert Ocarina player.
Well, excuse me, princess.
After the special training, you too can summon the wind or the rain when learning from our expert level trainers. Alright, that's it. Come here, you little.
And we're back. Did you guys have a good break?
Yeah.
Sweet.
How about you?
That was good. So we're gonna skip the last article that I wanted to read from the last section. We're just gonna skip right into the games we played this past week. So me and Carnage, me and Dave, we played a free-to-play game on Steam last weekend for like 6 hours. I think Carnage may have played for like 5 because he got on after I'd already started playing. It's a game called Warlander, which is made by the same dev company that made Happy Wars. I don't know if anyone remembers that. You probably have to be pretty old. I don't want to say pretty old because it came out back in like the Xbox 360 days. And it was a cutesy third person like battle royale war game with like 50 versus 50. And it was fun as hell at the time. Like, and that game was, the servers were going for like 10 plus years. But yeah, so this Warlander game, to get back on subject, basically it's essentially the same thing as Happy Wars, but with like a better art style and like a newer engine. It runs a little bit smoother. It's got the same premise though, where it's like a battle royale, 50 versus 50 or 20 versus 20. And you have to like fight to get into each other's castles on either side of this like island / map.
Yeah, it's a hack and slash tower defense.
Yeah, that makes actually that's a good explanation of it. I would say that the only issue is like tower defense insinuates that there's like automated defenses of some sort.
Yeah,
but in this, there isn't.
Yeah, it's a siege. It's I don't know. It's a mix of siege and defense. And
right.
It's like a very poor RTS game where everybody's technically the
hero,
squadron.
the hero character. Yeah.
It's a hack and slash, unlimited lives. Your deaths have no toll on your side. Which actually, now that I say that, they should probably add that. But like a death pool.
Right.
But carry on.
Oh, well, I mean, I was just gonna say. So my thoughts on it so far. It is essentially the same thing as Happy Wars, with the main difference being this game is extremely. How do I word this? It's extremely money grubby, I guess. Like its monetization is ridiculous. Like, not only do they have a battle pass that you pay for, but they have XP boosters, item chance drop rate boosters, so the only amount of, you get like 1 or 2 item drops per match, and matches last like what, Carnage, what would you say, 25 minutes? 25 minutes?
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, and so like you get like 1 or 2 items per match, but you can buy a booster that'll give you +1 extra item per match, along with XP, along with rarity boosters, along with XP boosters. Like, the game is made to make you spend money, and I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. I don't like that intention. Like, they made, and don't get me wrong, I don't want people to come after me. The game is fun. I actually enjoyed my time with it. My issue is its monetization is terrible. Its RNG is terrible. Like, the abilities you get are so RNG that you don't even know if you're going to get an ability that's for the character that you played for most of the match. Like, if you favor a wizard, you're going to get an ability for your knight. Like, that's not, but what if you don't ever play the knight? Like, now you just got an ability you're not ever going to use, It's not, I don't like it. It's the RNG's terrible. The fact that can they have rarity levels for the abilities too, and the armor, like the equipment. So like if you can get a sword for your knight that's like green rarity, but then like your buddy who's playing with you might happen to get RNG heaven and get a purple sword that does like 10 points more damage per hit, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're fighting, you know, an enemy force, that 10 per damage is an extra like that. I mean, that's one less hit to fully kill somebody. You know, if somebody has 100 HP, like I don't know, it just the mechanics of the actual game itself are good. Like the combat feels good. The character customization feels good without the RNG aspect being implemented into that statement. Like the fact that everyone has gear that has rarity levels, has like defensive mechanisms built into them, have different abilities on them, that I'm okay with. I just don't like the fact that like one person can just get super lucky and be extremely overpowered against somebody who isn't. And I hate that. I hate that as a mechanic. Someone might say, "Oh, but it's free to play. Why are you complaining?" You know, but like they shouldn't build a game around the idea of how should we milk our players to the most possible extent. They should build a game that's fun, which they did, and then think about making the monetization non-intrusive. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for, but like it's extremely up in your face, if that makes sense. So, Carnage, what are your thoughts?
Well, you pretty well said it. It is a free-to-play game, which they are heavily leading against. But yeah, they get you with their stores. If you want any chance to be, I mean, it's a hack and slash game, so you're gonna die a lot. But there does come a point where you're dying to the same person over and over. You just can't seem to take his ass out.
Right.
And it's like rock, paper, scissors in this game. You got 3 different characters you can play as, and each one is stronger against the other. But then you're going to get this overpowered knight that can't penetrate shit. And he just steamrolls through everybody. And yeah, it really isn't fair. It is, I would consider it a pay-to-win game.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
Some of the stuff that you do pay for, keep in mind that you accidentally bought once with your points was worse than the base weapons they gave you.
Yeah.
So not only could it be pay to win, it could be pay to lose. It's bottom line. I liked the game. I thought it was cool. It was fun. It was a little overwhelming at first. The tutorials kind of like, why do you even have this, seeing as I got to learn the important shit while I'm playing?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that. I remember distinctly I was bitching the entire time that we were playing with each other. I was like, wait, we could do this? What? Why didn't the tutorial explain that? And then I said it like 3 times within the same hour. I was like, wait, what? We could do that?
The character customization is not the greatest. They put a weight limit where they call it CP. Excuse me, on your characters, but you can't do
customization
anything.
Points.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know. It seems really. I don't really have too many fancy words to say. The game is. It's okay. It's a time killer, but it's not. It's probably not something I'm gonna load up anytime soon.
No, as I wrote in my Steam review, I literally wrote the review as if I was talking to Toy Logic and the other PlayNet or whatever the hell the publisher is. One of them's the developer, one's the publisher, but I wrote it as if I was talking to both of them. And I said, you need to fix this RNG mechanics in such a way that it doesn't seem like it's pay to win, because as it is right now, this game is not going to survive. Like, no one's going to want to play this game in 6 months with the way it is right now, because someone who comes into the game, 6 months from now, if someone gets into the game in June or July of this year, they're going to be extremely behind, because the people who stick with the game up until that point are going to have so much crap over top of you. They're going to be way overpowered. They're going to have all this cool gear. Their abilities are going to be specialized in such a way that their lightning bolts do twice as much damage. Like, they're not, you're screwed. You're just going to die because your base characters.
It's not skill or even power-based matchmaking either. It's
no.
The lobbies are so small; they're throwing everybody and anybody into a lobby,
Yeah.
and you can really tell when one side is heavily outmatched than the other. You can really tell.
Yeah, exactly.
You said that we've played, 20-minute matches. We've had a couple where they maybe hit 10-minute mark in our
Right.
castles being raided. It just
Yeah, because we just got stuck with terrible teams, to be honest, or teams that didn't have good RNG, I guess, because yeah, we were getting wrecked like three matches in a row. We had like maybe 5-10 minute games where like an entire assault team from the enemy team would rush our castle, and our teammates so the game has different like jobs. So like you have an assault team, you have like one or two assault teams, you have one or two defense teams depending on what like the commander wants. Like the commander chooses if you want, like he wants more defensive or attacking. So you have one or two defense teams defending the castle, and more often than not, the defense team doesn't even pay attention to their role and will literally just run off the freaking castle walls towards the objective, which is the enemy's castle, or the waypoints that teleport you towards the enemy's castle. And they'll just leave the castle undefended completely.
Yeah, and the roles are half. You don't get to decide your role. It's half luck, half decision by the game itself.
Yeah.
The commander is random between all the players who want to be the commander, and if you're stuck with that commander on your squad, no matter what, you're on the defensive side. And,
Right.
I don't mind playing the defensive role. I kind of like sitting back and ruining people's day. And
Yeah.
But yeah, people don't play the roles. My opinion with this game, it shouldn't really be a PC game. I think it could easily be a mobile game with the limited skills and attributes. I think it would be a cool little hack and slash to have on your pocket. If they want to monetize, throw some fucking ads on it for all I care.
Right? Honestly, with how the mechanics work with like monetization, I could totally see this just being a mobile game. It actually feels like one to begin with. So
it does. I wouldn't mind playing it to pass the time, but I'm not going to load it on my PC. And come on, I got my PC's over two. No, this game's not worth it.
Right.
In my opinion.
Not to brag or anything, by the way, but from the store page, my review is actually at the top. I don't know if that's just intentional or not, but it literally has the most helpful review.
Oh my god! Look at the emotes you got going on there.
Oh yeah, I have literally the most helpful review out of everyone that I'm seeing here at the top of the page on the reviews for this game. So yeah, I got 3 clown emojis. Apparently my review wasn't very good. I got 9 take my points awards. So and 5 slow claps. Apparently my review was extremely helpful. So but I mean, yeah, the game, like you said, exactly as you said, it's a mobile game. It is essentially just a mobile game with decent combat. The game, like I said, the gameplay itself is good. They have something here. They just need to refine the direction they're going with the monetization. Like they have battle pass, they have XP boosters, rarity boosters, item boosters. They have customization that you could buy with like their currency. You could buy customization for your characters. Why do they need all that? Why can't they just have customization, buy outfits, which I'm fine with, and a battle pass? I'd be okay with just those 2 things. But the fact that they're selling RNG boosters makes the game completely like, because then that insinuates they made a game that is trying to get you to spend money. You know what I mean? Like that was the entire purpose of them making this game, was to get more money out of you. And I hate games that do that.
Based on how in depth their store is and their loot mechanics are, yeah, it's 100% they were leaning towards getting their money back on development through in-game purchases,
through RNG purchases. Yeah, like it's
absolutely,
it's ridiculous. So I do not recommend the game to anyone who's listening who didn't who didn't get that from my tone of voice and my words. But yeah, do not buy the game, or don't buy the game. Don't download the game if I were you. But if you're interested, give it a shot, but don't buy anything. Do not buy anything. Just play for like a couple hours. If you like it, then so be it. Do what you got to do. But I would not suggest giving this company any money whatsoever. They don't deserve it for what they made here, because it's low effort. It's a low effort game, and I don't appreciate the monetization. But yeah, so that's that. Carnage, did you play any other games during the week other than that game and New World? I know you've been
Well, as Colin got to go on vacation, I had to unfortunately work every day. But
sorry.
yeah,
sorry.
Not much news as far as what I played. But one upset and one thing I'm gonna bitch about is the new Jedi game that's supposedly being pushed back another few weeks. Is kind of irritating because I pre-ordered that damn fucking game.
You were so upset about it.
Well, I am, because the same day I pre-ordered it, we were talking that we got screwed over with Battlefield 2042 pre-order. There's another game we bought, and it was just a bad luck in pre-orders, and
yeah,
it's a fucking piss off. And Star Wars, like, I'm really excited. It's a single player game. They've had so much time to produce this game. Why is it not coming out?
Right. No, I completely agree. The fact that I think it's been in development for like what, 5 years now? 5? When did the first one come out? When did Jedi Survivor?
Well, it came out on Steam in 2019.
Okay, so it wasn't actually that long ago then. I thought it was longer than that.
No, and I played it on the Xbox One X, so yeah, I mean, we're still 3 years, but to promise a sequel in 3 years, they've obviously had a huge head start on the sequels. So
right.
Yeah, it's just disappointment.
No, I get it. I just wanted to say to anyone listening, if you're interested in the first game, Jedi, what was it called? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Okay, that game is on Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, PC and console. If anyone would like to give it a shot, we're talking about the sequel that's going to be coming out mid this year, I guess, as they pushed it back to what, April or May. Yeah. So the game looks cool. The game looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, Fallen Order. I'd recommend playing it. I beat it on the hardest difficulty for my second run.
Hell yeah!
It's very intuitive.
You also played Elden Ring. Would you consider it like a baby's version of Elden Ring in the Star Wars universe, or
I wouldn't compare it to Elden Ring at all.
Okay, because people say it's just Dark Souls. It's essentially Dark Souls in the Star Wars universe. So,
okay, people use that term very loosely. I'm trying to find it in my damn library here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I have been playing Hogwarts Legacy for the last 2 days. That game is cool. I don't have a full review of it yet because I haven't beaten it, but I'm about 7.5 hours in. I played it nonstop all last night. That game is really addictive. It's really good. Mm-hmm. I have a couple issues with it. Obviously, not enough for me to bring down my review as of right now. Like, as I started with, I was like, I love this game. But the one of the minor issues I have with it is the graphical, I have 3 issues with it. Okay. So first one being the graphics kind of look like trash in some of the cutscenes. And it's really weird because the open world looks really good. But then you have these cutscenes that for some reason the quality dies and it looks like a GameCube game. And that's going back a little bit far. Maybe like a PS3 game or something. It doesn't look as good as when you're in the open world and everything's loaded in. And I have the graphics set to ultra and it's running smooth at 144 frames per second. It looks great.
I think that might just be a way of how they're handling games now, and it's just an optimization thing. I haven't been back to it, so I don't know if they've handled it or not, but when I was playing Horizon Forbidden West, the game looked great, but when I started loading cutscenes, there's this one really supposed to be beautiful cutscene at the beginning, and it looked great for a few seconds, and then as it cut and went to a new one, you could see grass textures hadn't loaded in, stuff it didn't look right. So it just might be how they're handling cutscenes nowadays. It might not just be them playing a clip of something. So I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they're like in engine or not. I don't know what the deal is, but
it doesn't make sense. Like the Hogwarts is single player only, correct?
it is.
So this game is intentionally made for the PS5, so it's a 60 frames max game, which
on console, on PC it's uncapped. You can uncap it. So
it's uncapped, but how many frames are you actually getting?
I'm getting 144 steady. So, but I have a 3080. So
but for what purpose? They have no. My point is they have no purpose to need anything over 60 frames.
Oh, you're saying the cutscenes are probably locked at 60, but then the gameplay is not.
They are, but I don't know where I'm really going with this. There shouldn't be a reason why the cutscenes are so terrible. Because if anything, you're
No, I'm not giving a reason. I'm not supporting that. I'm just saying it's probably the way they handled and when they're going about cutscenes now that make it look bad.
Yeah.
Not defending them, they need to fix it, but just how they do it at the beginning, they need to put more quality into it.
Agreed. Yeah, a little bit more effort. I don't know if it's like an optimization problem, like you said. Maybe that is it, because it is only like 3 days old. Like it just came out, so maybe they haven't released an update to like fix that issue. I don't know, but it's just weird. Like you get into you're out in the open world and you're like, damn, this game looks freaking beautiful, and then you walk back into the Hogwarts Academy and like start a cutscene for a quest, and you're like, "What the hell? Why does your face look like mush?"
Yeah, but the developers' PCs would be running a minimum 3080. There's no reason for it to be so terrible. Like if it looks as terrible on their end, why are they producing it?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Is it the fact that they're adding your character to the cutscene? Like, is it that?
I don't know, and I don't know if it's like a pre-rendered thing or if it's
that's probably it. Because that's probably why. If thinking about it, what I said about it being they're not just playing clips. If you have characters that are specially designed, you can't just record a clip of a single character.
So the game has customization too. Like you unlock new robes and stuff, and your character spawns in with those in the cutscene. Like you. So yeah.
Most likely they're having to render each cutscene. So maybe that's just not fully optimized. I mean, it's good that it's not the other way around, where the cutscenes look good and the normal game looks bad.
Right.
So I think it's probably just optimization. I'd probably look to PlayStation to see if it's the same problem.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I was just gonna piggyback off of that. Actually, this is my second issue because it said I had 3. The second issue is the pop in. There is some pop in the open world. It's minor. It's not like. If anyone knows the reference, it's not like the remake of Saints Row or whatever, like Saints Row 4 or whatever the hell that game was called that came out like last year, the year before that. That game was terrible. But no, it's not bad. It's like sometimes you'll have like a bush in the distance like pop in all of a sudden and you can see it clearly. So
okay.
That's other than that, it's okay.
Things didn't render properly.
Some things, it's like a rendering issue. I'm not sure. I have everything in ultra, and I just to fix it, I put everything down to thought maybe it was like my computer was maybe the problem, like too much VRAM being used or something. So I turned the settings down to like high, and it still happened. So I'm not sure.
I have a question. Is there how often was this happening? Like on a regular basis or just randomly?
Yeah, regular basis. Yeah.
Okay. That's where I was leading. Is your render distance way up? Because if your render distance is way up, that's just a problem with how far you're looking.
There's no option for it. There's no option for it.
Is it always far away from you?
I would say like mid distance. It's like not close, but not far.
It's a rendering distance issue. That's a problem with them not loading assets far away from you, like smaller assets.
Gotcha.
That happens in a lot of games. Like not the best comparison, but if you play Minecraft and set your render distance all the way up,
right,
you can see mobs popping in and out of existence.
Which makes sense. Right.
Yeah, so that's just an issue of them not properly, I guess, setting up render distance.
Gotcha. Things. So yeah, my third issue is another not really a graphical problem, but sometimes the game will stutter, which will then cause you to get like stuck in textures. So I walked into like one of the rooms in the Hogwarts Academy. I came from the outside to the inside, and I'm assuming there was some kind of like rendering thing there where they switched, like it's like an in-game loading screen essentially. But there is no loading screen, so it's like instantaneous. But I think the game has like this weird stutter where it's like, oh crap, now we got to reload everything in here. And when I did that, I got stuck inside of an object. So I was literally stuck into it for like a good 20 seconds before I realized I could literally just jump out of it. I forgot that the game had a jump mechanic. So I pressed spacebar, jumped out of the object that I was stuck in, but I thought for sure I was stuck in there for good. I was like really worried. So there's some minor issues with the game, that can be fixed I assume pretty easily with like optimization updates, that sort of thing. The good things about it, that I'm really liking, when the game looks good, it looks fucking good. Like the open world looks amazing. The enemies are freaking cool. Like you get to fight like trolls and statues and goblins and bandits. Like I like it a lot. I'm really enjoying it. The magic is freaking neat. I love the fact that you can have like different spell sets. You can like cycle between them. Like if I wanted to go full curse, I can just have an entire spell set of 4 spells, just like Avada Kedavra and Curcio and all these other crazy evil spells.
Leviosa.
Leviosa. But in the game, the game just it just works really well for like the environment, the story they're telling, the enemies, everything just works really well. The combat feels really good. I'm enjoying the combat immensely. Like just the fact that it's kind of like actiony, how you have like the dodge rolls, you have a shield spell, and there's like different shield types. So like you have to be aware that enemies that have green shields require, a spell that's related to that color. So like Leviosas can take out green shields, or Accio can take out purple shields, because those are the types of spells they are, like illusion or alteration. I love the mechanics. I love the strategy of it. They're doing a really good job with it. I can't wait to see where they go with it in the series. I hope this is going to be straight up just an entire like series of video games. Like I want an Assassin's Creed universe of Hogwarts Legacy games. Like I would freaking love that. I'm extremely enjoying it. It's funny to me, the classes. I never took notice to it before in the movies, and I don't know if it's that way in the movies either, but like in the classes, like you attend these classes in the Hogwarts Academy, and you go there for like all of a minute and a half cutscene, and then literally after you do the thing they want you to do, with no time skips for most of them, by the way, they're just like, all right, good job, you can leave for the day. Don't forget to study. And I'm like, okay, wait, so this class was only like a minute and a half long? Like,
it is Hogwarts.
It's funny.
They don't teach you math or reading. It's just
right.
So you're illiterate for the rest of your life.
Yeah, right. You're illiterate, but you know magic, so it's all worth it. No, yeah, it's crazy though. The game's great. I love it. So far, I give it 2 thumbs up. With taking into account the graphical issues and the minor bugs. Yeah. I did. Colin, you were watching me for a little bit before you went to bed yesterday. What'd you think of it from what you saw? What were your thoughts?
I mean, the cool mechanics. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. I've only watched like the first 2 movies, never read the books.
Okay.
From what I've seen, for the people who like the series, I think it looks like a great game. It looked decently good.
Right.
And pretty dang good. Combat, from what I saw, was cool. The puzzles seemed interesting. That's about all I saw. I think it from what I've seen, it's a fine game.
Yeah,
that's really it.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's an actual quote unquote AAA game that came out this year that's actually good and not a piece of crap. So, and it's an actual single player game with no microtransactions, which is like woo, surprising, in this day and age. I love it. It's great. So. I wholly recommend it to anyone looking into, who love the Harry Potter universe. I would highly suggest looking into it if you're interested. I'd like it a lot. So, do you guys have any games that you want to talk about before we move on to the final section? guys?
What?
No, I got nothing.
Okay. There was just like a long silence there. It was extremely quiet.
Yeah, I was
got
waiting for
nothing.
Colin's crickets.
Crickets?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That's the one.
Yep.
All right.
Anyway,
Colin, do you have questions for us for the end of show game
I
show?
have 10 questions. I
Ooh.
put them in. Well, I have 8 questions with a tiebreaker and a double point
Fancy.
question in the middle.
Hmm.
It gets progressively harder, I think. So we're gonna start with the first question.
Are we doing the buzz mechanic? Buzz?
Yes, you
Okay.
get the buzz in. So,
Gotcha.
so all right. So, question number 1: who is the most famous game character of all time?
Buzz. Mario.
Correct. So that is 1 for you.
Are you keeping track of the score?
Yeah, I have a
Alright,
score
appreciate it.
thing in the sheet. All right. Question number 2: what is the name of the final course of all Mario Kart video games?
Buzz.
Oh.
Shit, the rainbow one.
Got to give me the full name, or I can let it go to.
Do 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 do
I'm gonna give you 5 seconds.
Do 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 do
4,
do
Man,
do
whatever.
do.
2, 1, 0.
All right, Buzz.
All right. Yeah,
Rainbow Road.
correct.
Because
That
I
is
didn't
a
say road. Really?
I would have accepted the rainbow track, but you said the rainbow. Fuck. Like you didn't even try to give like a second part of it.
Did you not hear my
Yeah, that was the like I literally yeah. So no. All right. So that is 2 for Cyber J Man. So question. So I'm getting into the harder ones.
Oh my god.
So, question number 3. What is the best-selling video game console, home console, of all time?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Oh.
No.
No? Okay.
Nintendo Wii?
Incorrect.
Damn. Carnage?
You said the
Carnage?
best. You said the best video console.
Home console. The best console that you plug into your TV at home
Yeah.
of all time.
I'm gonna say PlayStation.
I will give you the point for it because you were the closest to it. It
Was
was
it
the
PS2?
PlayStation 2.
God
Yeah,
damn
I was
it.
gonna say if you want me technical, I would have said the 2.
Okay.
I thought for sure the Wii outpassed this 2 at one point.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was like I think 100-something million, while the PlayStation 2 was 200-something.
Oh, okay, that's
Something- Something like that.
I was gonna say because I could have sworn the reason I said the Wii is because I could have sworn from years ago the Wii Sports. I remember reading at one point was like literally one of the best-selling video games of all time, which made me insinuate that the Wii was one of the best-selling consoles because of that. So,
All right. So on to question number 4. Tailing off the last question, what is the best-selling handheld gaming system to date?
Buzz.
So one you take on the road with you. All right.
Nintendo DS.
Correct.
Yeah.
I wish it was the Vita because that thing was sick.
All right. All right. So bonus question for this is worth 2 points because this is the middle of the game. All right. This is a decently hard one. What video game company collaborated with Sony on the PlayStation?
Video game company that collaborated with Sony. Wow. Okay. Video game. You said video game company. So like,
Video
so does
game
that
company.
insinuate like a developer or?
A company.
Ooh, I don't know. I can't think of anybody. Can you get a hint? Is it a Japanese company as well as Sony?
Yes.
It is. Okay. That at least narrows it down. It would have to be some kind of electric.
Buzz.
Oh.
No,
Did you say
no,
something?
no Buzz. Unbuzz.
Unbuzz.
Okay.
Unbuzz.
You can't unbuzz
It's got to
who
be
you
some
are.
kind of.
That's
It's got to be some
Yeah,
kind of
it's-
electronic company. Has to be. So
It's not going to be like EA or
no, it's not a video game developer, and they weren't around when the PlayStation 2 was developed.
This is the original PlayStation, so the first ever one.
Right. So, fuck. It would probably be somebody that helped with the CD drive. I'm assuming the optical hardware.
This isn't a hardware company; it's a video game company.
Oh, fuck. Who was still around at that time? That was years ago. Oh my god. Okay, can I have another hint? Yes or no? Is the company that worked with them still around today?
Yes.
Damn. Okay. I got nothing.
Okay. Carnage, do you have anything?
starts with an S. That's all I know.
Sony and Sony. It's like a
Yeah.
law firm. Sony and Sony.
Okay. So I'm going to take that as nobody. So the correct answer was Nintendo.
What? Oh,
Originally, the
are you
PlayStation was
fucking
gonna be
kidding
an
me?
Add-on for the NES, and the deal fell apart. And then Nintendo went to go partner with Philips, and that deal also fell through. Sony, mad at Nintendo, created their own game console, outselling the Nintendo by creating the first ever PlayStation.
Wow.
That was the answer.
I am upset.
But they didn't actually collaborate.
What was the company that collaborated? They did collaborate. It was going to be a deal. They got in development, but then fell through. They said, we don't want this anymore.
Well,
'Cause
I guess
Philip-
I see what Carnage is saying. Carnage is saying technically they didn't get to the point where they actually started to collaborate, and he's saying it fell through. So, but that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
It
whatever.
was just a bonus question.
It's semantics.
You
It's fine.
still have 4 more questions to go. Anyway, so question number 5. Which was the first Nintendo console with an optical disc, or had optical disc?
Buzz. The GameCube.
Correct. Okay.
Fair.
Question number 4. This is a harder one. Which game developer has released 4, and I'm pretty sure at this time more, Game of the Year game?
What?
Say that again.
Developer. Okay. Which game developer or company, if I'll accept the company as well, has released 4 games with the title, title on the box, Game of the Year edition?
Buzz?
Buzz.
Oh, go ahead. You go first.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm gonna guess Final Fantasy.
No.
Rockstar.
No.
What?
Elder Scrolls.
Nope.
But it's not
Well,
Bethesda?
Yeah, it was with that.
EA.
Oh, he
It was
said
Bethesda.
Elder Scrolls, so I would give it
Yeah.
to him.
All right, we'll give it to Carnage for that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
because
said
for a second there I was like, wait, no. Elder Scrolls. Yeah. It was, so the original answer for the game developer was Todd Howard. He has released multiple
Oh.
Game of the Year editions for like Fallout and all of them. That's why I
He's
said
not a company.
Yeah, well, he's the head of
no,
it.
I said hold up. I said the question I got from online was which game developer. I
Oh.
said, however, if you gave me
Uh,
the company, I would also accept that.
Right, so Bethesda or Todd Howard or
Yeah.
Microsoft now, technically?
I maybe would have. Yeah, I would accept Microsoft as. Anyway, so moving on to question number 7. Blizzard Entertainment is best known for which video game franchise?
Buzz.
Yes,
World of Warcraft.
correct.
God damn it. I was going to say Burger King foot lettuce.
That would have just okay. So this is the hardest question I think of the bunch. The United States Air Force used what gaming console to create a cluster supercomputer?
Oh, Buzz. The PlayStation 3?
Correct. And that is the game. So
He's
the
a
game
fucking
ends-
military.
No, actually,
He's ex-military.
no, that's not the reason I know that. It actually was just ironic because I was in the Air Force. But no, I know that actually because I saw the article about it like 10 years ago. I saw the article because I was like, this is fucking cool. Like,
All right.
So
5-3, game goes to Cyber.
yeah, they had a whole room
got-
filled. By the way, just started before you move on. I just want to let you guys know how cool that was that they did that. They actually filled an entire room with PS3s and connected them all together in such a way that they were like LAN connected, but they had all the shells taken off, and the room was so fucking hot that they had to have air conditioners put in. Like, it was insane.
All right, and just because I made it, I don't know if this is a prop because I made this. It's a personal question for y'all. Had y'all got tiebreak? Which game did both of you pay a lot of money for that turned out horrible and y'all wanted a refund?
Buzz.
Yes?
Battlefield 2042.
There you go.
The way
So
you
that
said
would-
Buzz, though.
That would have
Buzz!
been the tiebreaker anyway. So that was the questionnaire. Good job, Cyber J-Man, and great, good job, Carnage.
Yeah, I don't need the second place sympathy.
Participation award, baby! All right. Carnage, you want to head us out?
Yeah. All right, guys, it's going to be another episode of Press C for Carnage. Thanks for viewing. Make sure to check us out on our socials at Press C #4 Carnage. See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.